Ryan here, Texas United Realty. I'm going to show you another trick on Transaction Desk. So let's say you have a client that's already made an offer on a property and it didn't get accepted for whatever reason, and you want to just duplicate that transaction in Transaction Desk so you don't have to redo a whole new process, or I guess a new transaction, which is pretty easy to do, but this allows you to speed it up a little bit because it's already going to have all your client's information already saved, because you're just going to duplicate that transaction to create a new one to make a new offer. So let me show you what this looks like. Let me downsize this. You're going to go into your HAR, HAR, and you're going to go on the left-hand side where it says Tools. You're going to go to Transaction Desk. You're already going to be logged in because you already logged in through HAR already. You're going to go to top left, which is your dashboard. It looks like a speedometer. And you're going to click that transaction that you had drawn up already for your client. I'm just going to use this one as an example. So what I'm going to do is on the right-hand side, I'm going to hit menu. It's the three dots. And I'm going to say duplicate. So you want to rename this to your new address that you're using. I don't know exactly what this does, but I'm going to leave it unchecked as I usually do. And I'm going to hit save. Okay, as it's saving, I already got an MLS number in mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say apply or import data. So one more time, you got to have to click on these bubbles over here, and you're going to have to go to import data. It's important to do it in the sequence that I'm doing it in. So just follow along with this video if you ever get stuck. You want to go to HAR MLS and put in the MLS number. If for some reason it's not on MLS, which is usually pretty rare, I guess, unless you're doing a listing, which in this case, I'm duplicating a buyer's offer, but that's usually what you're going to use it for, unless I'm just not thinking of something other scenario. You can technically import it from a tax ID number, but I'm not doing that in this case. I'm importing, and I do want to check that box. Confirm, yes. Now it's converting that file into a new file and importing the data from MLS. So that is the property address, my buyer's name, names are on the contract. And most importantly, on forms, your page 10 on the 1 to 4 family is going to be filled out with the correct listing agent information. And my buyer's names are already going to be on the contract, as well as the sales price and everything else that you did do. Now, one thing to note, that you do want to obviously change the price, the sales price, because your new offer is probably not going to match, or your new house is not going to match the old house offer, 99% of the time. So you want to change the 1 to 4 family. You want to make sure you go and change some dates on some things like your inspector information. So the three other forms that I like to add is I like to add the inspector information. This is just me for personal preference. I like to add for your protection, get a home inspection, inspector information, and a wire fraud. Also, non-realty item addendum, you're going to have to change that because maybe the fridge is not going to be included in this one, or maybe the washer and dryer and the fridge are included. I don't know. That's just something that you're going to have to keep an eye on to possibly change. Also, there's some dates that you'll need to change. Like I said, on the inspector information sheet is typically a date. See, so that'll have to be changed. If it's in the past, I don't see if that's hurting you any. So if that's something you forget, but I always like to keep it the date the client signed the offer. I always hit save and exit. But like I said, it'll make it a lot easier. You do still need to go through your contract and make sure everything's correct. especially this transaction desk. It doesn't like to give the full legal description. It usually misses the lot block and the section after the neighborhood. So that's at the top of the 1 to 4 family contract. So just make sure you follow along and use the tax records to make sure it's correct. But it's going to save you a lot of time, as you can see here. One more thing to mention, and I'll leave this alone, is when you do import this into signings, the documents is already uploaded from HAR. So you don't have to upload the documents from HAR, which is another reason to use Transaction Desk. But I will say, when you're duplicating a transaction like I just did, now take in mind that I'm not, this doesn't happen unless you're duplicating a transaction. But notice it pulled the files from the old MLS because they were already in here, and it's duplicating it, remember. So I tried to check and delete, and it still kept it over when I hit signings, but just don't add them. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to signings, you're going to add a new signing. I usually just keep it the same address is what I named the signing. But notice when you add the documents, the old files are still going to be in here. So just keep in mind to not add them, but make sure you add the documents from the new house. It doesn't, so just keep that in mind. And then I've noticed that it also duplicates, I believe, at the beginning. These are all good, the new forms, but once you get down past the documents, it notices it duplicates the forms, and I believe that is the old forms. So just make sure you're careful on what you add. That's all. And that's how you add documents to your e-signing platform. And then, of course, you want to add your signers from the transaction, but they'll already be in there because it duplicated it from the old transaction, again, saving you time. So I have another YouTube channel on the actual transaction desk if you want to learn it more. This is just showing you a duplicate, how to make a duplicate. But I figured it was helpful for me. It would be helpful for you. All right, this is Ryan Hygic signing off.